Martin Scorsese is, by almost any measure, one of the greatest American filmmakers ever. Over more than 5 decades, he has given us Mean Streets, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Goodfellas, Casino, The Departed, and Killers of the Flower Moon, a body of work that shaped how crime, guilt, violence, and faith are portrayed on screen. He has won the Academy Award for Best Director, been nominated more times than almost anyone in history, and built a career-defining partnership with actors like Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. Well into his 80s, he shows no sign of slowing down, continuing to develop new film projects, appear in acclaimed documentaries about his life and work, and make headlines for his views on where the industry is headed. But underneath all of that output and acclaim is a contradiction that has followed Scorsese for years, one that says a lot about the state of modern cinema. And it centers on his relationship with a single company, Netflix. Today, we are going to explore this relationship, which could shape the future of cinema. Hello and welcome to Box Office Basket. This channel exists to pull back the curtain on the global film industry. I examine film through 3 lenses: the business behind it, the content within it, and the audience behavior that drives it all. If you want to understand film at a deeper level, you're in the right place. To understand the contradiction, you first have to understand how loudly Scorsese has criticized the world that streaming platforms built. In 2019, he wrote an essay arguing that the word content had been hollowed out, turned into a meaningless label used to describe an endless algorithm-driven churn of material, designed to keep people scrolling rather than to move them. He argued that streaming had eroded the theatrical experience, the communal act of sitting in a dark room with strangers and watching something meant to be seen on a big screen, and compared its rise to Amazon swallowing up the physical retail industry. That same year, he ignited a firestorm by comparing Marvel films to theme parks, saying they weren't cinema in the way he understood them. He later clarified that his concern wasn't really about superhero movies specifically, but about a larger shift, the film industry splitting into 2 separate things, what he called the worldwide audiovisual entertainment on one side and cinema on the other. In Scorsese's view, streaming platforms are the primary engine of that split, prioritizing volume and retention over the kind of patient, singular theatrical filmmaking he has devoted his life to. And yet, the film that many consider one of the crowning achievements of his late career would not exist without the very system he was criticizing. The Irishman was a $160 million mob epic built around de-aging technology and a cast of aging legends: De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel, sharing the screen together for the first time. No traditional studio would finance it. Scorsese has said so directly, telling CBS News that studios don't want to make the pictures I want to make anymore, and that without Netflix, the film simply never would have gotten made. So the company he criticizes for reducing film to disposable content is the same company that made possible one of his most personal, expensive, and prestige-driven projects. That's not a one-time exception. Since then, Netflix has continued acquiring and streaming his classic films, The Departed, The Age of Innocence, Taxi Driver, and has greenlit a Las Vegas casino drama series inspired by the world of his film Casino, produced through his own company, Cicaglia Productions. The relationship hasn't cooled. If anything, it has expanded. So what do we make of this? One read is straightforward hypocrisy. A filmmaker who publicly laments what an industry is becoming while quietly, repeatedly cashing checks from the company most associated with that shift. That's the version filmmaker Boots Riley leaned into when Scorsese joined an AI company in an advisory role, guessing bluntly that Scorsese took a large payday and simply didn't care because he assumed the technology would fail anyway. But there's a more generous read too, and it's worth taking seriously. Scorsese has never claimed streaming platforms are worthless. His objection has always been about what they do to the culture of movie making and movie going, not the streaming money is inherently corrupt. He may see working with Netflix as a pragmatic survival, using the resources of a changed industry to keep making the kind of uncompromising, expensive, artist-driven films that the traditional studio system has largely abandoned. In that framing, Scorsese isn't defending streaming. He is exploiting its resources while still fighting publicly for the idea of cinema he grew up with. Whether that's principled pragmatism or a comfortable contradiction probably depends on how much weight you give to what someone says versus what they actually do with their time and talent. Maybe the real lesson here isn't about Scorsese being a hypocrite or being uniquely principled. It's about what happens when an entire industry changes shape faster than any single artist can adapt their values to it. Scorsese didn't create the conditions that made The Irishman impossible to finance through a traditional studio. The industry did that. And once he was in that position, he made the same choice almost every filmmaker of his stature has made in the last decade. Work with the platforms that still write checks for ambitious non-franchise filmmaking, even while warning everyone about what those same platforms are doing to the art form. It's possible to believe both these things. Scorsese seems to believe at once that streaming has damaged the culture around cinema, and the streaming is currently one of the only pathways left to make the kind of cinema he cares about. That tension isn't unique to him. It's arguably the central tension of the entire film industry right now. And Scorsese just happens to be famous enough and honest enough in interviews for us to watch him live it out in public. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos about the global film industry, and let me know in the comments, what do you think about Scorsese's stance? I would love to hear your thoughts. I will be back with another video very soon. Until then, it's bye from Box Office Bhaskar.